the stakeholders in the sector in order that we enforce the weight limits for our trucks so that they don't overload and destroy our roads every year in the infrastructure space. And so we decided that we must, over a 5-year period, catch up with that deficit and improve the infrastructure so that we can increase productivity and also use it to expand our economy. And so that is how the big push was born. And the big push is a $2 billion a year investment over 5 years. And so we're going to spend $10 billion on infrastructure alone, and that includes roads, health sector, education sector, sports and recreation, agriculture and agri-tech, digital space, and the key sectors of the economy. But we started the big push this year, and the Minister of Finance allocated 13 billion cedis for big push. And we realized that everywhere we had gone during the campaign, the major complaint of every region, every traditional authority, was the poor nature of our roads. Existing roads that were fairly in good shape over the years had not been maintained, not even pothole patching, and so the roads had deteriorated beyond proper use. And so it meant that we had to allocate a big portion of the budget for the big push to the road sector. And that's how come we kick-started it with the Accra-Aflawo Road dualization. Leave him, let him come in. Okay. That's why we kick-started it with the Accra-Aflawo dualization, the first phase, and then also the Dawinya, Afienya, Dodowa roads. We also cut sort for the whole Aflawo road, and this is the third round of sort cutting that we're doing. And this is a very critical road. That is the Cape Coast Takrady road. It has caused a lot of accidents. It has outlived its usefulness. And it is time for us to modernize it so that it will improve the productivity of both the central and western regions. So this is going to be a modern dual carriageway instead of the single passage, and there are going to be interchanges so that we create traffic separation, so that the congestion that we see on this road will be a thing of the past. And so, as the minister said, Western region is receiving its fair share of attention for the roads. And just for the records, I'll give you some of the roads that we are working on in the Western region, just for the records. And the first one is what we're going to cut short for, which is the dualization of the Cape Coast Takrady road. Then we're also working on the Takrady Agona rehabilitation and dualization of Takrady to Agona Junction road. Then we also have the construction of the Enchi Elubo road. Then we have bitumen surfacing of Asankragwa Agona Memphis Seshi Bekwai road, Junction road. Then rehabilitation of Esiama Telekubukazo and Himbeng Junction road, and rehabilitation of Telekubukazo and Yinase road. These are all roads that are captured in the first phase of the road rehabilitation program, and the total cost of these roads comes to almost 7 billion cedis. Its fair share of the investment that we're doing in roads and in other infrastructure that we'll build under the big push. Now, I just want to also point out, we cannot invest so much money in improving our road network only for transporters to overload their trucks and destroy the roads in 3 to 5 years. We've seen new roads that are built, and once these trucks that are overloaded pass on them, within 3 to 5 years, the road is finished. Recently, Burkina Faso, an overload, when they get to Burkina Faso border, they cannot enter because of the regulation the Burkinabes have introduced. So they bring 3 trucks from Burkina Faso and offload 1 truck into 3 trucks before they can enter Burkina Faso. There are trucks in this country that load 120 tons when the maximum load is supposed to be 50 tons. That will stand 20 tons per truck. Minister, and it's going to be announced firmly in the budget. We'll consult the drivers' union, the transporters. We must implement weight restrictions so that the roads that we build can last. And so next year we're going to introduce strict weight limitations so that these investments that we're making in our road sector would last for a lifetime. We are not going to waste taxpayers' money repairing these roads only for people who want to make as much money as possible to load 120 tons on a road. The stakeholders in the sector, in order that we enforce the weight limits for our trucks so that they don't overload and destroy our roads. But I have a short speech here. I'll just go through it and then we'll be done. I wish to thank all of you here for your attention. Today marks another proud moment in our collective journey to build a modern, connected, and inclusive Ghana. We're gathered here today to turn the sword for the dualization of the Cape Coast to Takoradi Road. This is one of the most vital transport corridors in our country. But let me say that it's not only Cape Coast to Takoradi. The other contractors working on Accra to Winneba Junction to Mankesim, and then Mankesim to Cape Coast. So by the time we are finishing this road, they also will be finishing. So the road from Accra to Takoradi will be dual carriage all the way. This project is more than a road. It is a declaration of our shared resolve to rebuild Ghana's infrastructure as a foundation for jobs, for competitiveness, and for national unity and cohesion. It embodies the spirit of the Big Push infrastructure program and the 24-hour economy policy. And both are designed to modernize our transport systems, expand industrial access, and make Ghana work again efficiently around the clock. The Cape Coast Takoradi Road forms part of the national route, which is popularly referred to as N1, and the Trans-West African Highway linking Accra to Takoradi, Ghana's major industrial and port city. It carries more than 90% of freight and passenger movement to the western region, and it connects our mining, oil, agriculture, and tourism economies. It also links communities whose livelihoods depend on daily mobility, and these are traders, students, farmers, fishermen, and workers who spend countless hours in traffic every day because of congestion. The current single carriageway has long outlived its design life. It has become congested, it has become accident-prone and inefficient, leading to the loss of lives and productivity. This must change, and today we're making that change irreversible. The dualization of the Cape Coast Takoradi Road covers 73.6 kilometers from Cape Coast to Takoradi and is divided into 3 contiguous lots for efficient implementation. What we've done is, in the past, normally that whole road would have been awarded to one contractor, and it would take him a long time to continue until he finishes. Today, that 73.6 kilometers, we have divided into 3 lots and given to 3 different contractors so that the work can progress rapidly. So the first contractor in Lot 4 will be delivering 3 interchanges. Apart from the dual road, there will be 3 interchanges. There will be 4 bridges and there will be 2 pedestrian facilities. The second contractor would have 2 interchanges, 3 big bridges and 4 pedestrian crossings. And the third, for Lot 6, will provide 4 interchanges, 3 major bridges, 7 footbridges, and about 20 kilometers of service roads with a rest stop and an axle-way station. And so this contractor will provide service lanes because of the communities on the side, because they're getting into the urban area, and then they'll have a service a rest stop and an axle-way station. The road will feature 2-lane dual carriageways, designs for speeds between 80 and 100 kilometers per hour, with paved shoulders, improved drainage, LED lighting, and polymer modified asphalt surfaces for durability and safety. Each of these lots, the 3 lots, is expected to be completed within 24 months. But my understanding from the contractors is they can finish faster than 24 months. When this project is completed, it will reduce the travel time between Cape Coast and Takoradi by 50%. It will improve safety for motorists and pedestrians alike. It will facilitate easier access to the Takoradi port and the industrial enclaves of Western region, and also the tourism destinations of Western and Central regions. It will stimulate trade, tourism, and investment across the 2 regions, and will create more than 8,000 jobs, 2,000 direct jobs, and 6,000 indirect jobs during construction. And as the minister said, I appeal to the contractors. If you have to hire labor, you have to recruit some people, please look in the local communities and see if you can find the expertise that you need. So the first lot is by S&L Construction and Engineering Limited. The second is Alikro Julius Limited. And the third is again S&L Construction and Engineering Limited. I expect the contractors to uphold the highest standards of professionalism, quality, and environmental stewardship. The Ghana Highway Authority too is charged to ensure rigorous supervision and enforce every clause of the performance contract. We expect you to use quality material to execute these jobs. This project is a cornerstone of our 24-hour economy and our reset agenda. It will enable faster, safer, round-the-clock transport and logistics operation. It will reduce fuel consumption and vehicle maintenance costs for transporters. It will strengthen connectivity to export processing zones, port terminals, and industrial corridors. It will strengthen regional competitiveness and tourism along Ghana's Atlantic Coast Belt. It will also complement already ongoing big push projects, the Takoradi port expansion, the Western Rail revival, the Atimpoku-Hoa-Flower Road reconstruction, each one representing a deliberate step towards a more integrated and productive economy. As we implement this project, I urge all stakeholders to respect the environment, ensure proper drainage and waste management, and minimize any adverse impact on the local communities. Government will honor all legitimate compensation claims associated with the right-of-way acquisition, and will not repeat the mistakes of the past where infrastructure comes at the cost of our people's livelihoods. Let me take this opportunity to commend the Minister of Roads and Highways and his team, to commend the Ghana Highway Authority for your professionalism and the speed with which you have brought these big push projects into fruition. Let me commend the Central and Western Regional Coordinating Councils for your cooperation. Let me thank the traditional authorities for the help you have given us. Thank the contractors and engineers for their technical expertise and readiness, and the people in this corridor for your patience, support, and partnership in this national undertaking. This project belongs to you. It is being built for your safety, for your livelihoods, and your future. I therefore urge you to embrace the project. We must all play our part to ensure the timely completion of this project, from government agencies to contractors to communities along the corridor. Let us safeguard the works, let's avoid encroachment, and support the supervision process. Together we will deliver a world-class highway that will stand as a legacy of collective effort and national renewal. Today, as we cut the sod for this vital infrastructure, we're also breaking ground for a more connected, safer, and prosperous Ghana. This road is a bridge not only between Cape Coast and Takoradi, but between our aspirations and our achievements, between promise and progress. Let this project remind us that development is not an abstract concept. It is a daily improvement of people's lives, kilometer by kilometer, community by community. May this road carry the hopes of traders, the dreams of students, the labor of farmers, and the vision of a country determined to rise again. It is my prayer that the next time we meet here, it will be not to cut sod, it will be to commission the Cape Coast Takoradi dual carriageway. And so, with faith in God and confidence in our people, I now declare the Cape Coast Takoradi dualization project duly launched. I thank you. May God bless our homeland, Ghana. Thank you.